Often in our lives, we face phenomena used to prevent us from speaking out our truths. Whistleblowers are a threat to systems and people who use lies to get what they want in the world. Coercion, theft, fraud, trafficking, and larceny are all common criminal activity that get exposed by whistleblowers. The deceptive people and systems have created tactical ways to undermine and discredit the truth speakers. These tactics enable the criminals to remain hidden and freely operational without being held accountable. Today, we are going to expose some of the major ways truth-tellers are attacked. These attacks allow the violators to continue to violate without accountability. Smear campaigns are the go-to solution for a grifter to cover up the truth about their evil activities. Google defines a smear campaign as a plan to discredit a public figure by making false accusations. You could add that the figure is publicly discredited to this definition with accuracy as well. So, what are some of these tactics used to create opposition to truth? Personal attacks are often the first underhanded actions the criminals make. These personal attacks work by targeting the physical appearance, personal life choices, or mental health. This tactic works on the superficial biases that the target audience often hold. Most people seek external validation of self from how they are perceived by others. A representation of these types of biases in everyday life is how people can ignore the humanity of the unhomed. By discrediting the validity of the truth-teller's image, using their physical traits. The hope of the criminal is to make the target audience find the truth-teller too repulsive to be valued for what they say. As a real-time example of this, our president often tells women reporters trying to hold him to account, pigs. The second tactic used in a smear campaign is character assassination. This is when the truth-teller is painted in a negative light through circulating false or misleading information. Many times character assassinations are laced with truths about the truth-teller. For example, a person who was sexually violated by their boss might have kissed everyone in the office at the office Christmas party one year. When they are violated at the workplace and speak out about it, this history will be added to fabricated actions for the truth speaker by the criminal or others on the criminal's behalf. This is done to mislead the target audience into thinking the victim, quote, unquote, deserved or asked to be violated. No person who was abused has ever been guilty of causing their abuses. I wish more people would remember this fact of reality, but that would not help the violators continue to operate in the shadows to hide their criminal behaviors. False information could be entirely fabricated stories. Things like creating evidence, text messages that never happened, phone calls or confrontations that never occurred or have been manipulated to look like they were the truth-teller, are common ways for the criminals to convince others of the devaluing of the truth-teller's character. This is why it is called an assassination. Tactics like this are used to metaphorically kill any chance the truth-teller has of being believed when they speak out. A third tactic is information warfare. This is when the truth-teller gets media or large-scale attacks to their character. Through planting false or distorted information into circulation, the criminals create a gossip train that isolates and discredits the truth and the truth-teller. Often, lies are created using the individual's actual traumas or lived experiences to give the smearing credibility enough to not be immediately questioned by the target audiences. In these campaigns, the truth-teller is often never even questioned or approached about the lies being told as truths about them. It is a blindsiding tactic to bully the truth-teller into silence. Other ways of using this tactic would include creating entirely false narratives about events or evidence. People who are targeted by these types of campaigns can lose their jobs, public support, or even get them expelled from organizations that lend credibility to their reputations. When the criminals have the limelight, a truth-teller will often get ignored because they cannot compete with the lies being told en masse through media presence. A prime example of this would be the Epstein victims. Until there were enough of them, with enough support from the public and law, to withstand the smear campaigns that would be brought against them, due to the status of the violators and their Ability to control the media. The victims were in constant danger if they were to speak out about the truth. We all have fallen victim to being duped by the criminals' smear campaigns at one point or another, because violators will do anything to avoid accountability. They feel entitled to their right to violate others and get away with it. This is why victim blaming is just another tactic created by criminals to smear the reputations of truth-tellers. A deceitful person will always lie, cheat, and steal to get what they want. A truth-teller will always face flying monkeys created by the smear campaigns created by the criminals. This will happen as long as our societies and laws are written to protect the reputation of violators and not the violated. Get familiar with these tactics and never take anything at surface level to help remove such criminal tactics from having success in silencing the truth. Try not to judge people on superficial aspects to prevent distorted understandings of character. Speak with the truth-tellers and ask them their truths. Give them the chance to say what is false in the claims made against them or to explain any created misunderstanding of the criminals creating. Smear campaigns don't work because criminals are good at what they do. Smear campaigns work because their target audience is shallow enough to discredit a person based on superficial or false information. It is the greater public not being responsible enough people to see beyond the image that feels right to them. As a bystander, your feelings should not matter, only the facts should, which means we all need to be responsible people and research to find the truth of the situation. Not everyone is a criminal, but every single one of us could end up as a truth-teller targeted by one. Let's try to make sure these low-character creeps don't have it so easy anymore, shall we?